Good day everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we have some breaking news coming in from Crimea. Ukrainian forces have once again carried out a successful strike on a massive oil depot near the Russian Black Sea Fleet in Sevastopol. According to reports, the Ukrainians used several swarms of drones to conduct the attack, which took place at night and immediately after the improvement of weather conditions. The drones were reportedly launched from the Odessa region, and Russian sources claim that at least 10 drones were involved in the attack. Although Russian sources claim that they were able to take down most of the drones, the Ukrainians managed to destroy 10 oil reservoirs that together contained 40,000 tons of fuel. The square area of the fire reached up to 1,000 square meters, and the firefighters assigned it the highest degree of difficulty and were unable to stop the fire until most of the fuel burned away. Thankfully, there were no reported casualties. Interestingly, the Ukrainians used cheap Chinese drones, which they manually equipped with explosives. This attack caused another wave of migration, as thousands of people started leaving Crimea for fear of being directly or indirectly affected by the constantly increasing drone attacks and missile strikes. This is not the first time that the Ukrainians have targeted Sevastopol, as they recently conducted another drone attack on the city and hit some facilities near the harbor. There have also been numerous unsuccessful drone attacks, such as today's drone attack on Yevpatoria and Ilovaisk. The situation on the peninsula is becoming increasingly unstable, as evidenced by the recent fires that have broken out in Russian factories and industrial zones. In particular, a fire broke out today on the only Russian factory that produces multiple launch rocket systems, causing significant strain on the artillery. Another fire today broke out in the industrial zone in Nizhny Novgorod, resulting in the destruction of several petrol tankers and nearby trucks. Despite the escalating tensions, the Ukrainian southern group of forces remains committed to their counteroffensive operation, which is slowly gaining momentum. They are currently focused on undermining the power of their enemy and have been successful in disrupting supplies, targeting military headquarters, and forcing the Russians to disperse their air defense. All of these efforts have set the proper conditions for large-scale maneuver warfare, which could be on the horizon. Now we discuss the impact of war on civilians. Specifically, I want to focus on the ongoing conflict in Crimea and how it is affecting the civilian population. Since the annexation of Crimea by Russia in 2014, the region has been the site of an ongoing conflict between Ukrainian forces and Russian-backed separatists. While much attention is given to the military aspects of the conflict, the impact on civilians is often overlooked. One of the most significant impacts of the conflict on civilians is displacement. According to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, more than 1.5 million people have been displaced by the conflict in Ukraine since 2014. Many of these people have fled the fighting in Crimea and other parts of eastern Ukraine, leaving behind their homes, jobs, and communities. Displacement has had a significant impact on the social fabric of affected communities. Families have been separated, children have been uprooted from their schools, and many people have lost their livelihoods. This has led to significant social unrest as people struggle to find new homes and jobs, and deal with the trauma of being forced to flee their homes. Another impact of the conflict on civilians is the disruption of essential services. Hospitals, schools, and other public services have been severely impacted by the fighting, with many facilities damaged or destroyed. This has left many people without access to essential services and has put a significant strain on those facilities that remain operational. The conflict has also had a significant impact on the economy of the region. Businesses have been disrupted, and many have been forced to close their doors, leaving people without jobs and income. This has further exacerbated the impact of displacement as people struggle to find new sources of income. International organizations have long played a critical role in conflict resolution. The United Nations, for example, was created with the goal of promoting international cooperation and preventing war. One of the key ways in which the UN seeks to achieve this goal is through its peacekeeping operations. The UN currently has 14 peacekeeping operations around the world, aimed at maintaining peace and stability in conflict-affected areas. Another important international organization in conflict resolution is NATO. NATO is a military alliance comprising 30 countries, primarily in Europe and North America. While NATO's primary role is to defend its member countries against external threats, it has also played a critical role in conflict resolution. NATO's military intervention in Kosovo in 1999, for example, played a key role in ending the conflict there. Despite the important role that international organizations play in conflict resolution, there are significant challenges that they face. One of the biggest challenges is that international organizations rely on member countries to provide the resources and personnel needed to carry out their missions. This means that they are often limited in their ability to respond to conflicts, as member countries may be unwilling or unable to contribute the resources needed. Another challenge is that international organizations are often constrained by the interests of member countries. The UN Security Council, for example, is made up of 5 permanent members, each with the power to veto any proposed action. This means that the interests of these 5 countries can often override the interests of other member countries, making it difficult for the UN to take decisive action in conflict situations. Finally, international organizations are often limited by the complexity of conflicts themselves. Conflicts are often deeply rooted in political, economic, and social factors, and resolving them requires a deep understanding of these factors. International organizations are often ill-equipped to deal with these complexities and may struggle to find effective solutions to conflicts. In conclusion, international organizations such as the UN and NATO play a critical role in conflict resolution, but they face significant challenges in doing so. Limited resources, competing member interests, and the complexity of conflicts themselves are just a few of the many challenges that they face. As we continue to seek solutions to conflicts around the world, it is essential that we work to address these challenges and ensure that international organizations have the resources, support, and flexibility they need to succeed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.